try to be economical and healthy. So I finished making a delivery and I looked around for something affordable and not too unhealthy. So I decided on a sub. So I came here and I do not investigate. I notice things. Since I ended up here, let's do story time. So this is when I was living at the women's shelter with my girls. I was hired at this Subway. I took this job because I could drop my girls off at school and then come straight to work. It was so fun. I loved it. It was perfect. I was and am very good at customer service and with food preparation, you know, catering to people. It was perfect. Enters Kirk Stowers. Him and his wife, and they are still currently married. I thought it was what are they called, lavender marriages, but evidently it's a genuine marriage. Not that it's my business, it's just I'm correcting myself because I had said otherwise. Anyway, I have no idea why I ever thought that. Probably just because they seemed very mismatched. And the only reason I say that is because him and his wife were saying that I was unattractive, and I mean, she's pretty plain herself. So I'd say we're pretty even when it comes to our looks. The only difference is she's white, so of course she's pretty and I'm ugly with all my darkness. So the very first incident was a black motorcycle officer who came in here and was sitting at the edge of the counter, right where it says open. Just directly to the left is the end of the service counter, and there used to be booths and a little table right there. The officer was sitting there and he was insulting me, then acting like he didn't say anything. So I was just like, okay. And then shortly thereafter, other firefighters, the resource officer that was the resource officer of, what is the name? The middle school just down the street, Grant, right? He was actually terminated because items were taken from my daughter from that school and placed in my apartment at the Colony Apartments. So he ended up being terminated. I'm not sure the ins and outs of that. But he never actually harassed me here at Subway, and he didn't harass me at Grant, but he did harass me when he worked as a security guard for the B bus lines. And many of the security guards that worked for the B bus did harass me at the main bus station. So yeah, firefighters, EMTs, they would come in and be like, dumb bitch, and then act like they didn't say anything. And one gentleman came in with his wife and he told her, hey, this girl, she hears things, you know, so you gotta watch out for her. And the wife was like, okay. And then he did it, and I guess he was expecting a reaction so his wife could verify, you know, that he in fact hadn't said anything. It was just really, really stupid. This was around the time when my grandmother was passing away, and she did pass away shortly thereafter. Just to date the incidents, I can't go to her grave and see what year she passed away. and actually probably will do that. So Kirkstowers is definitely heavily, Kirkstowers taught me how to shoot. He is very good friends with John Graham. Is he directly involved? If you have knowledge of something and you take no action, you're just as guilty, in my opinion. I don't know what the law says. After I quit here due to the constant harassment, I told the manager, and they didn't do anything about it. They sided with the police. They thought that I was, there's no way I could be getting harassed that much. So I went to go work at American Bank, and I now know that the person that was harassing me, one of the, I guess he was tech support. He didn't work for the bank. He was tech support. He worked in the back. I was an Anglo man, and every time I would go to the back to distribute the mail, he would call me nasty names. It was not that he did not like me. He was told, potentially paid to do that. So I was working with Nelda Martinez and Mark Scott, not directly with them, but they did work there. I don't know if they still do. Mark Scott has ties to the island. He also has ties to American Bank Center, where I also experienced extreme harassment, and I experienced harassment the night of my daughter's Del Mar College graduation, and I was subsequently poisoned in my apartment at the Castle Manor Apartments. I also want to say that once I was prepared to file suit against Sterling Temps, which was how I came to work for American Bank, I did begin to experience the break-ins at the Colony Apartments. There was a gas leak, even though the Colony Apartments do not and did not utilize the city gas system. There was the exchange of items from Grant Middle School and also the Palace Men's Club. Items were taken from the Palace Men's Club and placed in my apartment. So if we're talking city officials and people that would have that reach, that pool, that level of commitment, I want to remind everybody that I openly accused Mark Scott of sexual harassment when he was on the city council during a city council meeting where I was standing up on behalf of Crime Victim Services. I was a crime victim advocate. I was harassed at that meeting by law enforcement who followed me out as I was leaving and said, one guy said something like, "You don't work for crime victims, you dumb bitch," or I don't remember exactly what he said, but he was very offended. So I'm going to go ahead and end this right here because I've given out a lot of information. This is information that I thoroughly documented in the past, and I can actually, this is going to be very beneficial because, you know, since Mark Scott is out on the island, and I just don't, he's just not a good guy, and I don't know who his wife is. Is Connie Scott his wife? I mean, we're talking major motive and opportunity, and these are not new allegations. It is clearly documented that I said Mark Scott sexually harassed me. That does not mean that he tried to have sex with me. It means he made sexually disparaging remarks at a city council meeting, a city hall meeting, and that has been remedied. the current mayor tolerates no verbal abuse. We're not going to get into that because it works for me. It's not working for other people. So we're just going to wrap this up. I understand I've spoken a whirlwind of topics. I have thoroughly documented throughout the years that information that has been lost, that has been deleted intentionally or accidentally, documents that have been stolen from me, documents that have disappeared from the Corpus Christi Police Department. It will not be a problem to recreate everything, all these statements that I am making, and we'll talk to you guys later.